Hello everyone, my name's Dean. Let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is October 3rd, 2021, and Bitcoin is looking a bit exhausted. All right, why do I say that? We're on the hourly time frame, and we've seen that ever since our breakout actually on October 1st, right? Because on September 29th, we were still in the range, right, of this Wyckoff accumulation. You see, so we were ranging. We didn't stop ranging until October 1st when, okay, we left the range and we hit that third Elliott wave. And now we've retraced a bit and we're in the fourth wave. And actually we can bring that fourth wave down here a bit because this is a complex fourth wave, complex correction, and by the law of alternation in Elliott wave theory, if the first wave, if the second wave correction is simple, which this was in ABC, a simple correction, then the fourth wave should be complex and vice versa. So that's why we have that complex correction, and it's been taking a while. We've been here for, let's see, we've been in this correction, this fourth wave correction, for about a day and more than a day and a half, okay? A day and 17 hours, and I expect it to be complete soon. And what are we looking at here? So let's zoom in on the 15-minute time frame. We're basically looking at an inverse head and shoulders. It's not the prettiest, but let's draw it out very quickly. All right. Actually, no, that's not the right tool I want. Where's my head and shoulders tool? So many tools. Sometimes it's tricky to find them, and I don't use the same ones every single time. All right, so here's the left shoulder. Here's the head. Oh, I just clicked out of that by accident. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. Yeah. So that's your inverse head and shoulders, and that's a bullish pattern, and the target is going to be the distance from the neckline to the top of the head, superimposed at the site of breakout, which should be at the neckline around here, which gives us our target of 49.2. I hope everybody sees that, and that's why I put the fifth wave at around 49.2. So we saw that forming as a W pattern some days back. So we've been calling for 49.2 for Bitcoin before an ABC correction of this fifth wave. And if you're subscribed to the channel, you'll know I keep calling for ABC corrections. Corrections happen in three parts, A, B, and C. It doesn't matter if it's going to be a shallow correction, a deep correction, a large correction of many years, or correction on the 15 or 5-minute chart. You're going to have an ABC correction. They come in all manner of ways, but they're going to look like they're going to come in those three parts. And typically an ABC correction of a 5-wave impulse, it can happen to correct on a large time frame. It can correct 68.2 rather. So all the way down to the 382. So 62.8% of the move, or between 0.5 and 62.8%. So I expect the correction to come down somewhere between 44 and 45K. All right. It can also correct as shallow as the 618. But anywhere thereabouts, 46, let's say 44 to 46K, I expect this ABC correction to happen only after, of course, we hit our target of 49.2. And let's see if we can't find some confluence in that by looking, let's remove this, by looking with our Vital Algo indicator. Vital Algo is the indicator that I use. It's a sponsor of the channel and a partner of the channels. And if you put in code SDN at checkout, you get 25% off. And I'm going to put a pinned comment in the comments just so you have that. In any case, turn on that indicator. And again, for those of you subscribed to the channel, you'll know that I like to use indicators corroboratively, to find confluence in my original analyses. So the indicator is showing that indeed there is resistance around where we put the 5 wave, the end of the 5 wave, around 49.2. Do you see these red boxes? So that indicates a sell box, right? Those are order blocks essentially, and those are calculated by historical data. So there is confluence to say that that is indeed our 5th wave, and that's what I can expect from Bitcoin in the immediate to short term. And why, this is a daily show. I know that it's not always very helpful for people to look on such short time frames, but if you're making trades in and out, if you're making short-term moves, it's very useful to know what Bitcoin's doing on the short term. And long term, not much has changed, to be honest. We've broken out of this Wyckoff accumulation range, right? This huge Wyckoff accumulation range. And that's our 1 wave. Let me turn the indicator off. Did I turn the indicator off? Or no, I turned the volume off. I do that sometimes. All right. So we have our 1 wave, 2 wave correction. We're in our 3rd wave. So on a large macro kind of perspective, we are looking really good as we're in our 3rd wave, 3rd Elliott wave. And a lot of people may not look to come in until we make that higher high by going above 53K. But I think in investing and in trading, it's a mistake to look for a perfect setup, because if you look for a perfect setup, that means everybody else has as well. So it's probably best to see and make a trade or trigger a trade based off of good enough, right? If it's good enough and you can manage your risk and your risk is palatable, right, then go ahead and take it. But waiting for 53K, that's a lot of gains left on the table, not just in Bitcoin, but obviously in altcoins. And this channel, tracks Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. A gain of 9% in Bitcoin translates to a 20 to 30% gain in altcoins, and on leverage that could translate to 300 to 600% if you're using 10 to 20x leverage. So I hope everybody understands what the name of the game here is. It's risk mitigation. There's always going to be some risk. It's just what's your palette for risk, depending on your portfolio, depending on your goals. Yeah. So that's Bitcoin near term, short term, as well as long term. Now let's go into my swing trades, because I'm not actually trading Bitcoin as I typically stay on this channel. I was trading Bitcoin at the point of breakout, but I got out knowing that we had confirmed this breakout of the Wyckoff accumulation. I thought it was safe to go into altcoins. And typically when you trade Bitcoin, I think of Bitcoin as a wealth preserver, and altcoins more as wealth creators. And if you're trying to preserve wealth, it's a great way to do that. It's a great hedge on the dollar and inflation and everything like that. But in terms of creating wealth from little to no capital, altcoins are the game, I think. And correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure some people have created wealth on Bitcoin, but that's over a longer investment time frame, I believe, and that's with Yeah, that's with more time. That's with more time. You can definitely create wealth with Bitcoin, but it's not going to be within one altcoin season, or sorry, one bull run. Anyway, because Bitcoin still has what 2% to go, we know that altcoins have the freedom to move. And I was previously in a Tezos trade, and I did get out of it. And I think I got out of it too early, but I'm not going to FOMO back in, right? One of the main reasons why is I believe that it's close to hitting its target at $9.49. You can see it broke resistance on this, looks like a symmetrical triangle, right? Because the base seems sloped. And if you go in the hourly time frame, we see some strong bearish divergence here. So, right, this high on the stochastic RSI is right here. And then this high, which is higher in price action, is lower, right? So that indicates some bearish divergence, meaning it's going to come down back to its trend line and correct a bit. So that's why although I left Tezos a little too early and I left some gains on the table, I'm okay because one, I stuck to my plan. I made a plan. I traded it. I made some gains. Even though I left early, that's fine. You're not always going to get every move 100%. And it's on its way down sooner than later. It still has a few gains to go. I think that's the height of the move right here, 949. So right now, I think it still has a good 10% left, but I swung those profits over to Luna, and I'm happy to do that because Luna, let's zoom out a bit. Actually, on hourly time frame, we should be able to see it's difficult to count Elliott waves here. I think it's a bit challenging, and I think the easier play is to just use this pattern, which is clearly an inverse head and shoulders, right? It's easy to see. Let me turn this magnet off. That's the left shoulder. That's the head. That's the right shoulder. Right. And so that's the neckline. We broke it. Looks like we're retesting right now. And I don't know if the retest is going to come down all the way here, or is it just going to stay here? It looks like it may just stay here because it's a slanted neckline. And it looks like let's go on even 30-minute time frame. Looks like we've bottomed out on the stochastic RSI. Don't know if you can see that. Looks like we're bottoming out, forming some bullish divergence, some slight bullish divergence. And we're on our way to hit the target of this move, which is obviously the head, the bottom of the head or the top of the head, however you want to say it, from the neckline to the point of breakout of the neckline. And that gives us a target of about 56.57. So that is still from here a 25% move. So Bitcoin moving 2%, giving the space, the opportunity for an altcoin like Luna, Terra Luna, to go 25%. That's just that's an example of what I was just saying, how Bitcoin is more wealth preservation, and then altcoins give you the opportunity to create wealth, right? 25% versus 2% on 10x leverage. And by the way, if you want to trade leverage, do so very carefully. Have a good trade setup, good risk mitigation, to set stop losses, define your risk, define your losses beforehand. So if you're going to lose the trade, know what that's going to look like. No surprises, no liquidations, or no reason for liquidation, right? Just set a stop loss above your liquidation point. If you're going to trade and on leverage, I have links for KuCoin, Phemex, and Bybit below. I recommend KuCoin for beginners or Phemex. Bybit is more for advanced users. Phemex and Bybit are more for advanced users, but I prefer Phemex actually. I was into Bybit some weeks back, but given that I'm in the United States, using Bybit's a pain with the VPNs, and I prefer to use Phemex. So I have my referral link for Phemex down below if you want to try. And if you're new to it, please use very little. You don't need much. Put $5-10 in and start getting good. Use the bonuses. They give you $10 bonuses for doing random things, and so just use that money and learn there. And there's no substitute for just trading, charting, feeling the allure of making big gains and then potentially big losses. There's no substitute for it. All right. So yeah, this is my Luna trade. This is why I'm in Luna. I'm actually on maybe 20x leverage. So this move right here, this 25% move, if it hits its target, what's 25 times 20? That's, what, 500, that's 500%, right? So just to give you an example, 500%, you put, let's say I put $10. I'm not going to say how much I put on, but let's say I put $10, 500% of $10, that's a 5x, right? So that's $50. It turns my 500 into, or my $10 into $50, just to give you an idea of the power of these investment instruments. Okay. And what I do is I swing my profits. So let's say this hits its target early, but Bitcoin has yet to hit its target of 49.2. I'm going to look and see what hasn't run. Maybe it's a Litecoin. Maybe Litecoin looks like it's about to pop. Look at that. Looks like it's about to pop. Maybe it's what's another one that I was looking at that was about to pop, or rather that hadn't run. Filecoin. It was Filecoin. That's what it was. I don't see it on here. Maybe I've removed it. But anyway, one of the ways, and I'm just going to share this one last bit. And if you're finding value in this, please like the video, subscribe, and share. But if you're finding, if you're looking for coins that haven't yet run, one of the best things to do is to use the crypto screener. I personally use it in my own, if I'm trading Phemex at the time, I'll just go in Phemex and do percent change. But on this crypto screener, which is part of TradingView, which I also have a referral link on in the comment section, you go to this crypto screener, and sorry, let me just maximize that really quickly. You go to filters, and you can choose the exchange, right? So right now I have it on Bybit, but unfortunately they don't have Phemex on here. But yeah, let's just say you're using Bybit, right? So you choose your exchange, you click out of that, and then they give you the list of all of the futures or perpetual contracts on that exchange. And then what you do is you just go to percent change, right? So Tezos has been running really, the most, right? So it'd kind of not be the best idea in principle to jump into something that had already run, but you always want to verify by looking at the charts. So you look at the biggest losers, Compound, Axes, right? Uni, Dot, Filecoin. So let's look at Dot for instance. And so we're looking at Dot right now, and you see that, okay, it is about to pop. So the chart looks good. It's not like, sometimes they're down for a reason and you don't want to touch it, but this looks very promising. Looks like it's about to break out. So it's a high probability trade, right? It's broken trend right here. So it's likely that if you put some money on this, it's going to go up. How much is it going to go up? You have your W pattern here. So you measure that. I think your first target would be at least 33.14, which gives you from here a good 2.65% trade. So that's just how I do it. Hope that was helpful. Hope that was useful. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.